We are going to start with Herdmania, its type study. Now let's see the diagram first. This is the diagram of a typical Herdmania, that is also known as C squared. If you see here, the anterior end is marked by a branchial aperture, that is followed by branchial siphon here. Dorsal end is marked by atrial aperture followed by atrial siphon. Siphon is something that regulates the entry of certain particles. It is circular in nature, structure. Muscles are present. Circular muscles are present here at the mouth of the aperture. Now, if you see further, the body is divided into two parts: body proper, body proper, and foot. So, entire body is covered by a hard membrane which is known as test. This is the hard covering of the body. Position of body inside the test, if you see here, it is that is mantle. Outer covering is known as test, which is this one, and this one is known as mantle, which encloses the visceral organs. This is the extended foot of the organism, which bears certain foreign particles. Spicules are present here, and this is the ventral and posterior end. Okay, if you are asked the position of branchial aperture, so it will be on the ventral side, present at the anterior end. Branchial siphon with branchial aperture. Atrial aperture is present at the dorsal end and posterior side. Now let's see its systematic position. Belongs to the phylum Chordata. Subphylum is Urochordata. Urochordata, if you remember in the previous lecture, I had explained you the urochordates, which are characterized by the confinement of the notochord and nerve cord to the टेल ऑफ द टैडपोल लार्वा. मतलब इनकी टेल, जो टैडपोल लार्वा होता है इनका, उनकी टेल में ही कन्फाइंड रहती है, उसके आगे के रीजन में नहीं होती है, एब्सेंट होती है, उसी उतने ही रीजन में कन्फाइंड होती है ये नोटोकॉर्ड एंड नर्व कॉर्ड. So urochordates are also known as ascidians, since their general appearance is similar to ascidian, that is the Greek name for a primitive wine sac. So this was the derivation of the name. Now they belong to class Ascidiaceae. Subclass is Pleurogona. Order is Toledobranchia. Family Piuridae. Type is Herdmania, which is also known as C squared. Let's see their geographical distribution. Worldwide occurrence represented by 12 known species. So, out of these, 4 are found in Indian Ocean, namely Herdmania pallida, Herdmania mauritiana, Herdmania cylonica, and Herdmania anurensis. Now, if we move further, habits and habitat. Exclusively marine, मतलब marine water में ही ये रहता है. Marine water, that is the salt water, sea water, commonly known as the sea water. Exclusively marine, found in shallow waters. Shallow waters means it is not very deep. थोड़ा थोड़ा ऊपर ही रहता है, बहुत ज़्यादा गहराई में कह सकते हैं नहीं रहता है. अलॉन्ग द फाउंड ऑल अलॉन्ग द इंडियन सी कोस्ट के पास पाया जाता है. नाउ दिस इज सॉलिटरी सेडेंटरी एस्केडियन, फाउंड अटैच टू अ रॉकी सी बॉटम बाय अ ब्रॉड बेस और एम्बेडेड इन द सैंडी फ्लोर बाय इट्स एक्सटेंडेड फुट. नाउ सॉलिटरी मीन्स इट इज़ नॉट प्रेजेंट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ कॉलोनी. कॉलोनियल फॉर्म इसका नहीं होता है. सीडेंट्री एस्केडियन होता है, मतलब कि फिक्स्ड होता है. It is not movable, doesn't show locomotion at all. Found attached to a rocky sea bottom. Now this needs to be understood. जब ये rocky bottom, एग्जाम्पल इफ़ यू टेक ऑफ अ रॉक, अगर ये कोई हार्ड सब्सटेंस से अटैच्ड है, सबस्ट्रेटम से, सो इट विल बी अटैच्ड बाय इट्स ब्रॉड बॉटम, फुट विल बी एब्सेंट. एंड इफ इट इज़ प्रेजेंट ऑन द सैंडी फ्लोर, अगर ये सैंडी फ्लोर पे प्रेजेंट है तो इट विल बी अकम्पनीड बाय द फुट. सो embedded in the sandy floor by its extended foot. Sometimes gets attached as a commensal to the mollusk shell, which carries the ascidian from place to place. Now it gets attached as a commensal. In class 12th, you might have studied about commensalism. What was commensalism? That is, the organism shows benefit to the other organism. It benefits the other organism, whereas the other organism is neutral. So it gets attached to the mollusk shell as a commensal. It provides benefit to the mollusk shell, protects it from its enemies, and in turn mollusk shell, it carries it from one place to another to provide better food, shelter, and dispersal. Now if you see here, sometimes gets attached as a commensal to the mollusk shell, which carries the ascidian from place to place, providing it with better opportunities of food, shelter, and dispersal, whereas the ascidian protects it from enemies. Now this is the commensalism. It protects the mollusk from its enemies, whereas in turn mollusk is neutral to it. It doesn't neither protect it nor harm it. Okay, a large number of organisms grow on the test, like lamellibranch, gastropod mollusk, diatoms, algae, hydroids, etc. Most common being the green algae, which hides the ascidian completely. Now it is stated here that a large number of organisms grow on the sorry test, that is the outer covering of Herdmania. बहुत सारे organisms ग्रो करते हैं टेस्ट पे. गैस्ट्रोपॉड मोलस्क हो गया, डाई आइटम्स है, एल्गे हैं, हाइड्रोइड्स एक्सेट्रा. मोस्ट कॉमन दैट इज़ द ग्रीन एल्गे. ग्रीन एल्गे इसको पूरा कवर करके रखता है, सो दैट इट इज़ what you can say concealed completely. Now the next point is ciliary feeder, microphagous animal which feeds on microscopic plants and animals like diatoms, algae, infusorians, etc. Ciliary feeder, if you understand this, ciliary feeder is something that feeds on microscopic organisms, microphagous animal which feeds on microscopic plants and animals. Now microscopic plants and animals like diatoms, algae, infusorians, etc. Sorry. Water current bringing the food and oxygen enters from branchial aperture and leaves the body through atrial aperture. Now, if we see the diagram here of Herdmania, water current enters the body through branchial aperture. This is the branchial aperture. यहाँ से water current आता है along with CO2, sorry, not CO2, oxygen, food, and H2O. Okay, so carrying all these things, water comes here and exits through atrial aperture. Now it will exit through atrial aperture carrying waste products. Okay, let's see here. Water enters here carrying oxygen, food particles. Okay, ciliary feeder है तो microscopic particles होंगे such as algae, diatoms, etc. ये water enter किया. Now it will circulate here and then leave through atrial aperture. Atrial aperture से बाहर निकलेगा carrying carbon dioxide, excretory waste. Okay, excretory waste, carbon dioxide, and sex cells. Now water exits from here carrying all these things. So let's proceed further. Here it is. Water current bringing food and oxygen enters from branchial aperture and leaves the body through atrial aperture, carrying away undigested food, excretory waste, carbon dioxide, and sex cells. Sex cells बाहर जाते हैं क्योंकि it has external fertilization, not internal. It contracts its body to squirt water simultaneously or independently through branchial and atrial aperture. This is contracts its body to squirt water simultaneously or independently through branchial and atrial aperture. Hence, it is known as sea squirt. Body को squirt करता है since it lacks locomotion. Locomotion क्या होता है? Movement of body from one place to another. Movement is different. Movement and locomotion, they have a basic difference such as movement होता है जैसे हम अपने बॉडी पार्ट्स को मूव करते हैं सच एज रेजिंग दी आर्म्स अप एंड डाउन मूविंग द लेग और लोकोमोशन क्या होता है व्हेन वी मूव फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर सो दिस इज लोकोमोशन इज एब्सेंट इन हर्डमेनिया सो इट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स इट्स बॉडी to squirt water simultaneously or independently through branchial simultaneously means at the same time squirt करता है या फिर independently या तो branchial और या फिर atrial aperture से hence it is known as sea squirt so hermaphrodite होता है that is bisexual fertilization is external एक्सक्रीशन में हमने पढ़ा था सॉरी वाटर करंट जब आता है सो इट लीव्स द बॉडी थ्रू एट्रियल साइफन से जब बॉडी लीव करता है वाटर करंट तो इट कैरीज सेक्स सेल्स ऑल्सो अलॉन्ग विद एक्सक्रीटरी वेस्ट सो हियर इट इज़ रिटन हर्माफ्रोडाइट होता है फर्टिलाइजेशन इज एक्सटर्नल टेकिंग प्लेस इन द सी वाटर डेवलपमेंट इज इनडायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट इनडायरेक्ट का मतलब डायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट जो होता है उसमें सीधा एक ऑर्गेनिज्म फॉर्म होता है विदाउट द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ लार्वल स्टेज इनडायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट इज the development which involves the formation of larva. So larva hatches out from the egg, grows for some time and then settles on the substratum and it undergoes retrogressive metamorphism to become a degenerate sessile adult. Larva hatch karega from the egg, grows for some time and hence after that it undergoes retrogressive metamorphism to become a degenerate sessile adult. Larva is motile. लार्वा क्या होता है मोटाइल होता है और ये अंडरगो करेगा रिट्रोग्रेसिव मेटामॉर्फिज्म टू बिकम अ डीजेनरेट सेसाइल एडल्ट डीजेनरेट सेसाइल एडल्ट दैट इज सेसाइल मीन्स नॉन मोटाइल okay so this is the end of the slide retrogressive metamorphism we'll discuss in the next lecture so that's the last but not the least thank you so much